Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Black Girls Craft, our series called Craft with Me. This is also going to be part of our Holiday Moneymaker series. So tonight I am joined by a special guest, my daughter. She asked to join me, so we're gonna
Hello.
we're gonna try to make this work. But I've never really had her on video with me, so this is gonna be pretty interesting. But so tonight we're going to be making these buckets, the personalized, you can call them trick or treat buckets, Halloween buckets, it's up to you. And they're the buckets from Walmart. So what you need for tonight's project, it's really simple, really easy. The main thing that you'll need is the buckets, and you can get those from Walmart. They come in all these different colors. Although these two colors I wouldn't actually recommend, just because it takes so long to try to get the paint off, but they do come in all colors. The project works on these buckets and also on the buckets from Dollar Tree. So you'll need the buckets. You'll need 651 vinyl, which is like permanent vinyl. And I'm using 3 colors tonight. So I'm using black, I'm using orange, and white. And I buy my vinyl from a store called JSI Signs. They're in Norcross, Georgia, right down the street from me. What's wrong? It's okay. It's gonna get on you. And you're going to need acetone, which you can get. I got this from Walmart for like $1. And let me see this, baby. You can also use an old toothbrush or cotton pads or cotton swabs. You're going to use those to take the paint off. So, and also you will need, let me use this, like that. Okay, got it? So this, the step to remove the design is actually something that a child could do, which is why I'm letting her do it. And you will also need rubbing alcohol, which I got this from Publix, but you can get that from anywhere. You'll also need scissors, and you could use your own design. Like you could cut out a really simple design, you can trace it online. Or you could always use a vinyl color, like a vinyl cutter, like a Silhouette or a Cricut, to cut it out. But I recommend using silhouettes for this project. So if you're going to use silhouettes, you could easily just trace something like this out and just cut it by hand with some scissors. So you don't necessarily need a vinyl cutter. There are also like stamps that you could use to press out the design. Like there's a circle design. I don't know if there's a bat, but I know there's different shapes. So if you want a perfect circle, you could always get one of those like handheld punchers and in different shapes and use that for this. And then to apply the vinyl, you'll also need contact paper. I use the Duck brand. This is what mine looks like. And it's reusable. That's my favorite. That's actually my favorite part about it, that it is reusable. So once you use it, you could actually just cut out a piece for one project and then just keep using it over and over for that same project. I know Cricut also has a brand. That's not my personal preference, but yeah. So I recommend the Oracle 651 vinyl. I know Cricut also has vinyl, and I think Silhouette has vinyl too. But in terms of getting the most bang for your buck, and I'm just cutting out the sheets. In terms of getting the most bang for your buck, I think Oracle 651, or some people call it permanent vinyl, will be your best bet in this situation. So that's what I recommend to get your money's worth. So yeah, so the first step is removing the design. And to do that, you would take the acetone and you would apply it to a toothbrush or one of these brown pads. So let me see. And it'll start to look like this. And it's something that's so simple that a kid can do. This is what she did on her own. This is arguably the longest part about the whole thing, the part that takes the longest. So I would say if you have kids, this is a fun part that they can do. And it makes them feel like they're helping. So yeah. Hi Guyton, miss you girl. I haven't seen you in so long. You in a day, your baby. All right. So what I did was I already cut the design out, so I'm just gonna start weeding it. And when you weed the design, you just take off the part that you don't need, and then you keep, I don't know if y'all can see this, and then you keep the parts on this main sheet here. You keep the parts on this sheet that you're going to actually apply. So with this, it's pretty easy because I used a bolder font and a simple name. I'm going to give this one to my godson Braxton, so I'm making this one with his name. And then...
You mean my brother Braxton?
Yes, your godbrother Braxton. Yeah, so then all I'm doing is just weeding out the little parts of the letters while she takes the design off with the acetone. And then once you weed it, then it would look something like, I can't get it, the light to like not shine it out. I don't know, but hopefully y'all can see this. I don't know. Can y'all see this? I feel like I can't see it on my screen, but hopefully y'all can at least see what it looks like. And yeah, the light's shining. All right, so what we'll do, and I do recognize that this is pretty last minute. I did plan to do this a whole lot sooner than today, but I'm also a consultant and my business has been pretty busy with creating content and stuff, so I haven't had time to do this, but I do plan to do more craft with me videos, especially for the holiday season, especially for people that have cutter machines and you're interested in making it into a business or even just making holiday gifts. And so what we'll be doing is a holiday moneymaker series. I did it last year, but I just combined all the projects in one video. But this year I'm going to do Santa sacks. I'm going to do, I think I'll do glitter wine glasses, Santa sacks, the tiles that you can customize with names. I also want to do the memorial lanterns. It's a lantern that has a candle inside and you can put like the person's name on it or something. Wait, are y'all saying y'all can't hear me? Tamika and Ebony? I don't know why. Hi, Ladasha. I hope I said your name right. And thank you. She said you're beautiful, Mama. You want to tell her thank you?
Thank you. I'm a little bit shy though, but I can still talk.
You're a little bit shy. When did you get shy?
When I was a little baby, I was still shy and didn't like people because I was shy.
Oh, okay.
So when I grow up, now I'm shy.
Oh, now you're shy? Do you like being shy?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Do you like making stuff? Yes. Do you think you're good at it?
Yes.
Good. Because you are good at it. You're great at it. You're going to be better than me because you're going to have more time than me. I just started a couple years ago. Do you know what you're making today?
Buckets.
You're making
Mommy,
buckets? Yes.
Spirit's legs, head, and eyes and nose, just got the point.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So while she's still taking the paint off, and I'll show y'all the progress. And I'll usually, like she did the first two that I showed y'all, she took the paint off, and I'll usually let her take this off, and then I'll just go back and clean it up. So while she's doing that, I have weeded the 651 and added it to the transfer tape. So essentially, and I realized this comes second nature to me, so I wasn't even talking through it, I was just doing it. But essentially what you do in order to add something to the transfer tape has two pieces to it. So it has the backing, and then it also has the actual transfer sheet. And in order to use it, you need to separate those two pieces. So you separate the backing, which is the white part that you see, and then the transfer tape is actually clear, and of course my nails are not grabbing this the way that I need them to. But, so it has two pieces, you see? So the backing is this part, the white part, and then the transfer tape is the clear part. So in order to use the transfer tape, in order to actually apply any design with 651, you need transfer tape. And this, there's also contact paper that they sell at Dollar Tree, but I got this from Amazon, and I got it really cheap on Black Friday last year. They had like a bundle deal, so I've used it so much, and I still have a lot left. So this is much cheaper also than the Cricut brand transfer tape, and it also lasts much longer. And I think it works a little better. Sorry, Cricut. So yeah, so in order to use transfer tape, in order to apply any design with 651 vinyl, what you need to do is separate the transfer tape like this, peel it off, and then this is the sheet that you're going to use. You can discard this or you can keep it depending on how many times you plan to use this piece. But all you do is you take this transfer piece here and then you lay it on the part that you weeded. We talked about weeding before. And you lay it on here and then you press it and it picks it up. So it becomes like a sticker almost, which really that's what 651 is. It's like a really strong sticker. Yeah, and so you press it on and then you make it so that the 651 sticks to the transfer sheet. That's what you want. You want it to stick, because essentially what the 651 is it's just a sticker. It's a really, really strong sticker, and unless somebody really picks at it, it's not going to come off. And especially for these buckets, they shouldn't come off. They should last for a couple years at least, unless the kids pick at them. Yeah, you got a lot of work to do. Are you making good progress? Can you show us how far you've gotten with your bucket? Let me see. How far have you gotten? Let me see. Did you take a lot off? Can I see? Oh, wow. Okay, so we've made some progress. So what we're going to do in the interest of time, can I see this? What we're going to do is I'm just going to work on one side, and then it applies, the same concept applies for the entire bucket. You can do several designs. Hold on, Mama. I'm going to let you put the sticker on, okay? So you can do several designs on one bucket. It's up to you. If you plan to sell these, which I know it's pretty late in the game, but maybe if you can make one tonight, I know Walmart's not closed yet. If you can make one tonight and then put them at your kid's school tomorrow, if that's your thing, you could always just sell a few. When I sell them for $6 or 2 for $10. So, and it doesn't really take a lot of time to do it. We're just taking our time now just so we can show y'all how it goes. But when I'm applying the design, I do like to try to keep it centered. So, and the center is where this thing hits. Hold on, baby. Give me a second. I'm going to take this off, okay? And then I'll let you put the sticker on, okay?
Uh-oh.
What happened? You spilled it?
No.
Okay. So why'd you say uh-oh?
Because this.
Oh.
It's running out.
Oh, yeah. Don't put acetone on your table. That's a bad idea.
Yes.
Don't do that, Mama. Okay. All right. So, almost done with taking the design off. And I'm just using pure acetone. I don't know if just regular nail polish remover works. I haven't tried it, but the acetone takes it right off. And then for the design size, I have to double check it because I set it up in my Cricut. So, hold on, baby. So the widest that I've been able to get a design to lay without bubbles or any problems is 6 inches. And then for the height, I make it 3.48 inches. And then I do recommend using a thicker font as opposed to something that's slim. Aubrey, please don't stick it. We're going to use that for our project, baby. So I do recommend using a thicker font just because it makes it easier to lay it on. And since if you're going to sell these, you do want to try to keep it as easy and simple as possible. So the design size that we're going to use today is a bat silhouette that I got off of lovesvg.com, and it is 6 inches wide and 3.41 inches tall. As far as the fonts, the name, the widest I've gotten the name is 4.5, And then the height is 1.9. So that's where we are with that. All right, so I've gotten a good bit of the design off for this side. And then once I get the design off, then I'll take it and rub it in rubbing alcohol, just to make sure that it's clear. I recommend doing this for any project that you're going to use 651 vinyl for, just because it keeps the, what do you call it? It keeps like little residue, like little particles of dust. The alcohol will clean it off. So anytime you have like little particles of dust, you could take it off with a cloth pad and alcohol. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is lay out the design. It's really important to plan your design ahead of time, especially if you're going to be using several different colors, just because you want to make sure that you're laying it out in order. So what we're going to do first is cut out a sheet. What did I put for the bat design? And so we're just going to keep this really simple. So I'm doing bats and then his name and just some quick polka dots.
I'll sit on here.
Oh, baby, you have to sit here on the chair, baby.
I'll sit on here.
You want to go in the room?
No.
Okay. So you have to let me finish this. All right. So cut out the transfer tape. Separate it. And peel it and stick it. So peel it off. Attach it to the sheet with the vinyl on it. Now I will usually use some of the Cricut tools to do this, and it makes it a little bit easier, but I didn't want to recommend stuff that people might not have, and I did want to make this quick. So the bucket is clear. All you'll do, I'm going to take that pad off because that's not going to fit. All right, so you'll center it. No. Let me do this part. And I recommend stretching it as you lay it across, just to minimize the amount of bubbles and to actually prevent anything from bubbling. And then you can use anything to scrape it on, just to make sure that it's on there really good. Scrape it on. And then once you're sure it's on, then you'll start peeling it. Oh, just kidding. It's not on. Yeah. You funny.
You funny, Dad.
You funny too.
You funny, silly zombie.
All right, so that's it. So the bat is on. And then next, I'll add his name.
Yes.
I'll reuse this tape as well to add the black dots. So next I want to add his name, but actually I want to make sure that I only add his name across the bat, not one of these dots. So I'm going to just lay the dots on. So that way I can make sure that the only thing that goes on the bat is his name. And then as far as the polka dots, I'm just gonna put them on randomly. Aubrie, you asked to be in the video, Mama. You're distracting.
Oh.
All right, and then I lay on his name with the transfer tape, press it down. Again, 651 is just a really strong sticker, so all you're doing is just making sure that the sticker is in place and that there are no bubbles. And that's it. Can y'all see that? And then the rest of the steps is just adding more polka dots. So where'd you put the other? Here. I mean, you stuck the polka dots together. And sometimes if it's something that's small and strong like this, like a circle, I can just lay it straight on. I don't bother about the transfer tape. So you want to put this bat on? Don't worry about those. You can't use those now. They're stuck together. They're not going to come apart. You can just clasp them. All right, so here you go. So she's going to lay the bat. So where do you want to put it? Okay. All right. So you lay it. Tell people what you're doing.
I'm putting this on for Halloween for everybody.
Oh, look at that. Good job. High five. Oh, yeah, that's my girl. All right. So for the rest of it, you pretty much just repeat these same steps. Apply the design to the transfer tape. Make sure that it's stuck. Aubrie, move back. All right, are you done helping?
No.
Okay.
Wait, are we done with the class?
Not yet. We're gonna finish Braxton's bucket first. And sometimes I'll lay the circles on top of each other, but the design is totally up to you. You can make it your own. So sometimes I'll do the design like this. Stop on.
You're gonna stick it together.
No, I'm not. That's what I'm doing. And sometimes I'll just make it really random. And I'll just apply this same design all around the bucket. I'm just not doing it now because we didn't remove the design over there. But to finish it off, I'll add dots all around it. And sometimes I'll add their name a second time. And I'll give y'all an example of the finished product with a design all around. So this I did for my little cousin Kenyon. And his has bats on one side and a ghost on the other side. And so I just added the design all around. It's really cheap to make these because the buckets are only $1. And the $6.51, this entire sheet, which I've used some of it, this entire sheet is only $1 at JSI Sign. So when you consider how many designs you can do with this one sheet for $1, are you going to your room? Okay, so what are you doing? I'm almost finished. Just sit down. So for the entire sheet, you could easily make a dozen buckets with just one sheet. And so that's why I only charge $6, and that's mostly for time. I don't use a whole lot in the materials part of it. So the $6 is just for my time. But that's it. So once you have, I didn't mean to stick this. So once you have the designs and everything done.
Can I do the others?
Yeah. Here. You can tell Braxton you made it in his bucket. And that's pretty much it. So the rest of it is just once you get the design off, that's the most tedious part. Once you get the design off, all you have to do is just apply the $6.51 and just make sure that you keep the bubbles out. If you see bubbles, if you start to see bubbles, I recommend using a heat source like a blow dryer or I think the brand is Doris. They have a heater and you could use that to apply it. I don't know, it goes on the opposite side. Yeah. Like that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And you could do one of these in less than 20 minutes, really, maybe even 15. So yeah, that's pretty much all we have. Just a couple quick announcements. I do have a class going on now called Crafts to Coins, and I have another class that's starting on Saturday called Slay Your Sales, where I'll talk about how you can make good sales for Black Friday. Some people make 5 or 6 figures just for that day. And so I'm going to give strategies and tips for what I have used for Black Friday sales. So we'll go over Etsy's SEO. We'll go over Instagram, making sales from Instagram. We'll go over how to build your email list, how to make money from your email list. So if you're interested in signing up, you can just go to my website. It's www.rickeysha.com. I think the link for that is rickeysha.com/product/slay-your-sales, and it's $30 off right now until Monday. So it's only $97, but then tomorrow it's going to go up to $127. You'll get a copy of several of my ebooks as well as some other tools and strategies that I have used for my own success. So if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email at contact@rickeysha.com. Thank you all for joining me. It's been a pleasure teaching you how to make Halloween buckets. I am Rickeysha, and what's your name?
Aubrie.
All right, and that's Aubrie, and we showed you today. What did we show them?
how to make buckets. We're gonna have fun tomorrow and see you again. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Now we can get fruit snacks.